On today's episode, I talk with Lara Stone about the exquisite dyeing and printing work she's been doing using natural fabrics and natural dyes and objects like eucalypt leaves.
And rust and...
Yeah. But what we didn't really touch on was the environmental element. So just tell me about the environmental credentials that your work has.
Well, it's just all totally natural. So it's just dyed with leaves and gardenia fruit and indigo. So it really doesn't matter if the byproducts go down the drain. So
because it's not going to cause any harm.
No.
Isn't that fabulous?
It's so important too to think about these things.
That's right. So what things can people do to be more environmental around their clothing?
Well, there's so many things we can do. Like we can just buy things that we just really, really love rather than things that are $20 from made in China or something. We can go to the op shop and buy things from there.
And remake it, because that's what you've done with this beautiful dress.
Yes. And we can mend things and keep them going. And yeah, I just think as consumers and also as designers of clothing, we can all do our little bit. Even if it's not totally perfect, we can still do
something towards perfect.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
that's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
Watch it till the end. You'll love it. To find Lara, you'll find her on larastone.com.au. That's my website, and Lara Stone the label on Instagram and Facebook. Follow her. You'll love her work. Thank you. Hello and welcome to Stories from the Red Couch. I'm Robin Cook and today my guest is Lara Stone. Hi Lara.
Hi.
How are you going?
Good. Yeah.
Thanks for joining me.
No worries.
You make the most exquisite printed fabrics that I think I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
And you've been doing it for some time now. I'm going to, right through this, I'm going to hold these up because I really do want you to see some of the elements that we're working with here. Lara, can you tell me what brought you to start working with printmaking like this? Because I haven't seen it before.
Well, I've always, for a long time, I've worked with fabrics, but I started as a teenager and it was more with like chemical dyes and things like that.
Yes.
And but it was still kind of like around the campfire with a big pot with my friends and stuff. So I've kind of always had a connection with it.
Yeah.
But I really came back to it when I discovered natural dyes because it gave a greater meaning to it. Yeah, it was. I've always loved herbs and health and natural things. So I read a book by India Flint and that called Eco Colour, and it just really resonated with me. So and I just got back into it in a bigger way.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, and I can appreciate that because I feel similarly. Where I used to do a lot of dyeing when I was a teenager and loved that whole process.
Yeah.
But the same thing, just using chemical dyes, and unlike you, I didn't come back to it. But I love this because it has the shapes of the leaves and the other materials that you're using. How does that work? Where the shape is just so. Let me find something else because. You can see the shapes in that. How does that process work, Lara? It's incredible.
Well, it's natural chemicals that are in the leaves that when you press them against the fabric and you apply heat, they dye the fabric. So,
And they're all natural fabrics too, of
Yeah,
course. So
yeah,
what
definitely.
fabrics are you using?
I'm using silks and wools quite a lot at the moment, but
Yes.
also linens. Yeah, they're my favourite fabrics.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and the silks are, I mean, that's a silk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a silk. But
Yeah.
they really feel quite different, don't they? How does
Yeah.
that work?
They are these two are woven in different ways. So yeah, and at different different weights too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And then there's this is silk as well, and that's knitted instead of woven.
Ah.
So it's stretchy.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
really interesting, isn't it? Because again, they're all three of them are silk, but they feel quite different.
Yes.
I haven't come across that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So you were doing just making the fabrics. Have you always been interested in dressmaking as well?
Yeah, I learnt to sew on a treadle sewing machine as a youngster in the bush because we didn't have much power.
Yes.
So yeah, and just kept on going from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to make things out of velvet from the op shop as a youngster.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so yeah, made hats and bags and things back then. Yeah.
I love this one. So this is tell me about it because it's just exquisite.
Yeah, I call that the frilly neck lizard collar.
Yes, and it is, and it's got the most incredible pleating on it.
Yeah, I do that on the sewing machine. I love pleats. I just really I just love the way it sits.
Yes.
And I'm starting to do pleats a lot more. Yeah, there's a top just, I don't know if you can, top just back here that's got pleats as well.
Pleats on it, and that's got a really amazing colour in it.
Yeah.
So that it's a green. It's a blue.
Yeah.
We would normally think of it as indigo, but
Yeah.
it's not, is it?
No, it's gardenia.
That's amazing.
Made from the gardenia fruit that go through an enzyme process.
Wow.
The gardenia are native to China.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's
where that came from, that dye. I actually just bought that dye that was made.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
But this is indigo.
Yeah, that's indigo.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about the process of using indigo. How does that work?
Well, you need a vat, and you kind of nurture it and look after it. It's kind of like a beer or something. Yeah, it's
Oh, really? Okay.
got enzymes in it too. So you need to keep it a bit warm,
Yep.
and it has sugars that you feed it. And
So you're saying it's not just, you don't just use it and then discard it.
No,
You're keeping it for.
it continues on for, well, I keep it on going for maybe 1.5 years about.
Wow.
But I add more indigo powder
Yes.
and more sugar and more lime
Okay.
as well to it
Okay.
to keep the pH good.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So it's a real brew, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
incredible. And how long do you need to keep the fabric in that for this shade of colour to come out?
Well, it's not the length of time you keep it in; it's the amount of dips you do.
Oh, okay.
So, I dip it for a few minutes
Yep.
under in the vat, and then take it out and squeeze it, and then it quickly turns from a kind of yellowy green colour into a blue colour when the oxygen reacts with the
Okay.
indigo.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a really magical kind of process.
incredible.
You can see it in front of your eyes changing, kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll dip it again.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, that was twice dipped, I think. I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
That's astonishing. And do you know much about the history of the dye and, you know, where people first started understanding the use of it?
A bit.
Yeah. I might have to do some research into that. It would just be fascinating.
Yeah, it's caused a lot of turmoil in the past. It was a way of people getting really wealthy indigo,
Ah.
and yeah, I won't go into it too much
No.
today, but it's got a long history.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And then with this green, tell me about the colouring of that.
That one is the gardenia,
Okay.
and then Osage orange over the top, which is a can't remember the botanical name for that at the moment, but
Where do the dyes come from for most of these? For that orange, is that what sort of a
that's
plant?
a wood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a wood that's made into a sawdust. There's a native version of it in Australia, but I haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that something that you play around with a lot? Is experimenting
Yeah.
with the different pieces?
Yeah, especially if I'm on a road trip or something. Yeah, I found the cochineal bugs on the roadside out west. They're still living on the cactuses out there.
Wow. Okay.
They make a bright pink. Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when you're travelling, do you take a pot
Yeah.
and all of the bits and pieces with you so that you can experiment on the road?
Yeah, I do. But I also, you can just dye slowly, like not in a pot, but you can wrap it in some plastic or put it in a jar. Sometimes I just wrap them in a bit of plastic and then I put them on the dashboard where it gets really hot, and they just dye for a couple of weeks there rather than
That's amazing.
a couple of hours. So yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, what point did you go from making lots of beautiful fabrics to making clothes that you felt that you could sell? How did that happen?
Well, I had a shop in Nambour called Earth Temple.
Okay.
And I was, it was more like a shop of all different people's artwork.
Yes.
But then we had a couple of workshops in there, and I started putting some of the scarves and tops that I'd made on the racks there, and people were really interested and stuff. And also I started doing markets, and I had a really good reaction to it.
That's great.
Yeah, I just started selling them, and yeah, it's
Just growing
a bit of a passion.
Yes.
Just because of the reaction as well that people have, and also because I believe in it so much.
Yes.
Just the naturalness of it.
And now you've taken it and you've actually turned it into a label, isn't it? A fashion label.
Yeah.
And you've just recently launched a website. So you've got your website now.
Yep.
And you're working with other people. So how's that going from being you essentially on your own doing your thing, to how many people are you working with now?
1, 2, 3, 4. It's growing. It's at least 4.
That's fantastic.
There's other offers of interest. People are kind of willing to not charge too much to work for me.
That's brilliant, Lara.
Yeah, because I'm just starting off, and they really like what I'm doing and stuff. So that's a bit of a godsend.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've got something exciting coming up in the new year with Vogue. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm going to be in British Vogue in their designer profile section for the February, March, April issues.
Wow.
So
that's so exciting.
I've sent them the first photo and the first little company bio, and then I've got to send them some more photos and for the other issues. So.
How did you manage to do that? I mean, that must be almost like a holy grail.
I have no idea how they just emailed me out of the blue.
Really?
So I don't know how they found out about me, but
wow, that's brilliant.
Could have been from the markets or from Instagram or different things. Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. Be interested to find out.
Yeah. So and Vogue still print magazines, don't they? I mean, it's actually a thing you can hold in your hand.
Yeah.
But also online.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So people will be able to find it and look at the work that's in it.
Yeah, and they're sending me some magazines, the magazines that I'm in, so I'll have a copy and I'll put it on my website and everything.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. How far afield are your works going? So
they are very popular in all different countries. This because it's like a souvenir from Australia, because a lot of these are native Australian leaves that they're made from. So yeah, there's Italy, London, America. They've gone to. People tell me where they're taking them.
Yeah.
Barcelona, I think, or somewhere like that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And how do you care for them?
I'm
really rough.
I recommend
clothes. I'm just so hard on my clothes.
Yeah, with these ones I recommend hand washing.
Yes.
But I mean, you can wash them in the gentle cycle of the washing machine.
You could put them in a bag, maybe.
Yeah.
In the machine.
Yeah.
And then hang them up inside out of the sun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, out of the sun.
Yeah. They really are magnificent. And when you're sewing these sorts of, how are you coming up with the designs? Because there's three different shirts there.
Yeah.
How do you come across the designs?
These ones are very similar patterns. Like I have the pattern that's very similar. I have a lot of patterns. I have Pam, who helps me make patterns. So
Okay.
and I've got somebody else just starting to help me with patterns as well.
So they're all original patterns as well as the fabrics.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, they
great.
are. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of collaborate with a pattern maker to get the right look that I want.
Yes.
So it takes quite a lot to.
I'm sure it does.
I make samples first. This dress is actually a sample dress, and then like this is made out of old sheets from the op shop, and I dyed them with native eucalyptus.
Yes.
The sap from the eucalyptus. But so I kind of love the samples, just wearing them.
Yeah, for sure. That's fantastic. So a sheet from the op shop.
Yeah.
Nice thick sheet.
Yeah.
That's terrific. So is that the dye that you made with the wood that your father brought back?
Yes.
Is that, because I read that in your blog, and that looked beautiful, and it had so all of that sap was inside.
It's it's called the Eucalyptus sideroxylon is the species, and it just naturally it bleeds. Its trunk bleeds if there's a bit of wind damage or if a branch falls off. You always see the sap coming off the bark. So yeah.
And so this is the sap. Did you
and
put
a bit of bark in there.
Bit of bark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fabulous. So you had, I mean, you must have some idea of what it's going to turn out like. Do you often get surprised?
Yeah, a lot. Especially with this kind of stuff. It's always so unpredictable.
Okay.
That's kind of my style as well. I don't like it too contrived often, so I like to just I wrap the silk around a stick or a pole.
Yes.
And then I cook it and then I unwrap it, and it's like a present.
Yeah, well, it must
every
be.
time. Yeah, with this kind of stuff. Yeah.
And they're really large pieces of silk. Is this the sort of size that you would normally do, or bigger? You know, that to go on forever.
That's about the size I do for a dress.
Okay.
Yeah, the length. Yeah. For a dress. So.
And where are you sourcing the fabric?
From a few different places. There's a place in America that I get it from, and I'm starting. This is the newest one. This is from India. This one is piece silk. Yeah. So
tell me about that. Why is it called piece silk?
They allow the silkworm to go through the full metamorphosis.
Oh, okay.
And,
then emerge.
Emerge from the cocoon, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
And ordinarily they're killed. Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm starting to think about that more and what that means.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever really contemplated that either. So with normal silk production, they just destroy the worm because of the process that the pod has to go through?
That's right.
The cocoon, sorry?
Yeah. So I'm starting to think more about wools as well to use. I do use a bit of wool, but I haven't got much here today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's all evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Have you got some visions around where you'd like to see your work go? Have you got...
Well, I actually had the vision of going into Vogue. I was talking about it a week before they
Really?
emailed me.
That's fantastic. Well
So
done.
that was good. And so then I thought, I wasn't thinking it was realistic really, but that made me think, well, I can just dream big and see where it all heads. We have actually got a bit of a ambition to go to Paris next year.
Fantastic.
For a fashion show.
Yes.
My PR lady Chloe, she's from France, so
Yes.
we might go there together, or we might go to Italy. That's another place we'd like to go as well.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
That's so exciting, Lara. Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah, I love your work, and I'd be very keen to see where you end up with it, and excited about the Vogue inclusion.
Thanks.
Yeah, so thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks.
If people wanted to find it, they can find you. How can they find you?
On my website, larastone.com.au, and also on Instagram, Lara Stone the label, and that's same for Facebook.
Okay, Lara Stone the label.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's just,
I'm also putting on a couple of workshops next year, so keep an eye out for them.
Oh, okay. I'm just really taken by this beautiful fabric, and I'm loving the colours of it. So
thanks.
thank you for bringing it along. Thank you for watching. It's been such a delight to feel everything that we've got here today. We will see you next week with another guest. Thank you.